as well. So I'm going to be demoing this little Bud 6 amp here, and I'm going to be talking about it. And for everybody who's watching and who's not watching and will eventually watch this video, especially on YouTube and every place else, this amp is called the Henriksen Bud 6 amp, and you could actually save 5% on this amp if you use my code ronjackson. So let me see if there's anybody watching right now who would be interested. And also, let me play something a little bit for you and see if there's anybody right now on TikTok that might be interested in knowing about this amp. Okay, so if you look carefully, this is the Henriksen Bud 6 amp. Look how small it is. It looks tiny on the video here, but it really is a cool amp. So let me play through it a little bit so you guys can hear it. I'm using my D'Angelico XL, Premier XL they call it. And you can see the little amp here that I'm using. And we're going to talk about it in a minute, but let's listen to it. It sounds really good for the size and everything. I take it to gigs and people are like, what? That little thing? Okay, let me play a little bit for you right now so you can hear it. Turn it down a little bit. So, I'm demoing the Henriksen Bud 6 amp right here, everybody. So let's talk a little bit about this amp. I have a little demo thing I'm going to talk about here for the amp. Just so you know, you can get this amp at henriksenamps.com using my code Ron Jackson, save 5%. So just so you know, I've sold a lot of these amps. Now, I'm not trying to sell you here with these amps because these amps sell themselves, man. Every time I go to a gig and I show up with this amp, they're like, what? I'll be playing with drums and bass and guitar, and they'll be going, wow, man, this amp is really great, man. Where do I get this thing? I said, you know what? They're great amps. They're small and they're portable, but you know they're not cheap. I'll tell you something, guys. Just like watching YouTube videos all day long and trying to get free lessons, nothing good is cheap. So this is a really great amp, but it's kind of expensive. But I'll tell you, I used to use amps. I used to get really terrible amps that cost $200, $300, even $400. Small amps like this, and I would end up selling them. Just, you know why? Because, or giving them away, just because they're not that good. This amp is a really good quality. So someone's asking me right now, how many watts is this amp? So I'm going to show you. You can go to Henriksen.com right now and look up the Bud 6 amp. Okay. Now this amp, just so you know, he asked how many watts this is. I'll just tell you a description right now. It's right here. I think it's 120 watts, but I'm going to just make sure I'm correct here. And everything is right here. Additional information. Okay, the weight is 13 pounds. So this is 13 pounds, everybody. Okay, only 13 pounds. And let me see what else about the Bud 6. The description is 120 watts, okay? Transistor amp. Okay, the speaker is 6 inches wide, just so you know, okay? So I'm going to show you everything about this amp right now, everybody. So there's some comments up here too. I got to look on TikTok as well. So it's 120 watts. I'm going to post that right now. 120 watts. Okay, it weighs 13 pounds. Okay, let me see. Let me look right now on TikTok as well. Can you play Fairly Easy? So I don't know. Advice for someone who's about to do original music. I'm not doing any advice right now. I'm just showing you a demo of this amp, everybody. Okay, so this Bud 6 amp weighs 13 pounds, has a 6-inch eminent speaker in it. Okay, it's 120 watts, and it's a amp. Just so you know. Hi, yes, hi Tina. Ron, buenas noches. Yeah, so people are saying hi. I'm just, wow, that's a lot of power for a small amp. Yeah. So just so you know, everybody, this amp, I'm just doing a demo on TikTok so you guys know, but for Facebook and YouTube, I'm demoing this amp. Now this amp sells itself, so let me show you all the features. So it has a 6-inch, it has a small tweeter speaker right here, okay, as well. So you guys can see that. There's a small tweeter speaker, 6-inch eminent speaker, really powerful. I played Hammond organ through this before and all kinds of stuff. Let me unplug this for a second so you could see some more of it. Okay, I'm going to go in the back and turn it around for you. Look at this. So it's a really great amp. So it's really light. It comes. I'll show you the case in a minute, but it comes with a carrying case. Now, what's really cool about it is that it has all hells. Now this is this is a step up one. There's a 1-channel one which is cheaper, but in my case, man, I like to use this amp because I can plug 2 different things in it. And what's really cool is it has full EQ on both channels and reverb. So it's a really well-made amp. I'm not trying to sell this amp to you guys. I use this amp. I was holding out for a long time. Now I'm a Henriksen, whatever you call influencer, because I've sold about 20 of these amps myself using my code ronjackson. Remember that. Use code ronjackson and you'll save 5% on this amp. Now, it sells itself, guys, because it's hard to find an amp this small that you could just put on your shoulder and play a real gig with. They call it the jazz amp. Take a look at this. It's really cool, isn't it? If there's any questions, let me know. Everybody who's watching. So it has reverb on each channel, reverb presence, high, mid, okay, and it tells you the degrees. The presence is like 7.2 hertz. The high is 3.5 hertz. The high mid is 1.6 hertz. The low mid is 420 hertz, and the low is 80 hertz. Okay, and there's a bright switch on each one. Okay, and there's a volume. Okay, if you look carefully, there's a volume, And it has Bluetooth as well. You can put auxiliary. And what's really cool is you can put a mic in here or a guitar in each channel. So you know, okay? And then of course there's an input gain right here. So I put a mic in here. So when I walk around with this amp, I have it comes with this really cool bag. I'm going to show you the back in a minute. But I plug a mic in here. I have singers playing here or two guitars. It's really cool, you know. So I love to I love to see you know I love to play with other people. And if you're in a really small place, not really small, but not too big of a place, you can actually use this amp. But I was on stage at a gig a couple of weeks ago, and the sound system went down. I had my big Fender amp. I had a Fender twin reverb tone master, and the guy, the flute player and the saxophone player didn't have an amp, so he plugged right into this. So as soon as after the gig, he ordered one because he was with my code ronjackson. You can save 5% at henriksenamps.com right here. And what happened was he ordered another amp because it was incredible. He said he couldn't believe how good this amp sounded. And everybody says the same thing. I'll be playing with drums and bass. It's not quite the power I want. I like to have a big full couple of speakers, like a Fender twin reverb. But this thing works really good if you don't want to carry anything around. And what's really cool is I was on tour with this. It weighs 13 pounds, and I put this in my suitcase. Okay, so that's what was really cool about it. So so it has a little a hole here for the sound to escape as well on the bottom. It has 4 little rubber footers on here to put on the floor. Now what's really cool about it is I was on tour and I could actually put a line out. For some of the places that didn't have a guitar amp and they had a sound system, I used this. And you can see some of my videos here on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok and stuff. I'm using this amp on my tour, and this sounds great through the sound system when you don't have an amp at all. And this is a backup amp. It really sounds really good. So what happened was I was on tour one day. I was in Wisconsin, and they said they had an amp there. I was like, okay, they have an amp. I'm going to use it. And I left the amp at the room, and I regretted it because my amp sounded better. And I was really pissed off about that, So let me answer a couple of questions here. If you have any questions, please send them to me. Let me see. Encourage your viewers. Hey, you're the man. Stay groovy, brother. Thank you. What amp is that? So I'm doing. Someone's asking what amp is this? This is a Henriksen Bud 6 amp. Just go to Henriksen Amps. It's spelled just like this. HENRIKSEN. I think it's Swedish name. They're based out of Arvada, Colorado. These amps weigh 13 pounds. This one that's even lighter, I think. That's a 1-channel one, but I got the 2-channel one. Okay, I forgot to show you guys. So on the back, it has a line out. Okay, I already showed you the beginning of it. Also has a headphone speaker, and it has you can also put 2 channels out. Effects loop sends here. Okay, and of course it has it has an AC/DC plug for it. Okay, and this is 120 watts. Okay, and also what's really cool about this, let me put it down here. I'm going to play through it in a minute so you can check it out again. And what comes with this really cool carrying bag. So I mean, I carry this around. I usually carry this bag. I have a mic in there, and so there's a mic. I always carry a mic, and I carry a mic cable with it. A mic cable, and then I carry. It fits a lot of stuff in here with this little case. I can put this little guitar stand here. It all fits in this little bag here, and so I can put this little amp, 13-pound amp, in here. Let me close this up. And okay, I'll close this up, and then I'll put this 13-pound amp in here like this, and it fits really good, see? And it fits like this. Let me go back a little bit so you guys can see a little better. You close it up like this, put it on your shoulder like this. I'm walking around like this, and I carry my guitar. It's a really great amp for what it is. And you use my code ronjackson to save 5% on the website. So let me take the amp back out so you can see the bag is really cool. It's really sturdy. I've had this amp, you know, I bought this before the pandemic, okay, and I became like one of their, you know, endorsers and influencers. I've sold about 20 of these amps. I mean, they sell themselves. You know, if you once you try and you hear it, you're like, oh man, I want this. I had a friend now who just wants to get it. He's a bass player. He's getting it for his wife, who's a singer, because she can sing through this. You know, you can sing through this. You can play through this. So let me show you. So you can put a mic in here. Look at this. I have a mic. Let me get the mic out. So I'm gonna plug it back in because I unplugged it, trying to show you guys. So I have a little mic. I'm not a singer or anything, but I bring mics. And sometimes I make announcements using this amp. If I have another amp, or you know, if I have a singer sit in, I'll let him use this amp because you know it's just a good backup amp. I leave it. You know, I bring it with me every time to a gig, just to have as a backup. I always bring 2 amps because one time I was at a gig, and what happened was, and uh-oh. I have to call this guy back. I'll call you back, Arturo. Someone's calling me from Spain, but I'm live. So, so let me call you back, Arturo. So so this amp, if I plug it back in, I'll put the mic on. Let me turn it down a little bit because it was a little loud earlier. So I'll put the mic on. So you can put a mic right through this. Watch this. Hello. Hello. Sounds pretty good, huh? So I have a little reverb on there. So I'm using the mic right now, and it sounds really good. So you can put a guitar or a mic in the same input. Actually, everybody, you see that? So sometimes I'll put my guitar in here separately. It's not plugged in right now, so I'll put the guitar right in here. So I can play the guitar at the same time. I can't sing. I don't have a mic stand, but I can play through. You hear that? So I put both in there right now. You can hear the guitar really well. So I have my guitar and the mic in here. Let me try that. Hello. Hello. Hello, how you doing? So I have the mic and the guitar in here at the same time. So let me play this. So, you know, this is my 6-string D'Angelico that I'm using right now. So I'm going to take the mic out and stop this. So I'm taking the mic out. I'm going to play, if you have any questions, please send them to me. Let's hear that. Let's hear you scat sing giant steps. Oh my God, everybody's asking about giant steps. Well, I have some good news for you guys. I have some easy giant step licks coming up soon that I'm actually going to be showing everybody soon. And you can get it on my Instagram and get it on my website. So let me unplug this for a second. I'm going to plug my 7-string in here now. It works really good with a 7-string guitar too, everybody. So let me show you. Let me go right here. Here's my 7-string. And I'm going to plug this in right now into the amp, just so you can see how it sounds with a big bass note on the bottom. Okay, yeah, so sing a good man's brother. Why does everybody talk about giant steps? It's so funny. Everybody wants to play giant step. So I mean, you know I can play giant steps too. So like this. I got it. Ah! So that was giant steps a little bit. But so, I'm demoing the amp right now, first. And I'll play you something in a minute. So, this is with my 7-string in here. Let me see if I can answer some questions. That was for a sing a good man's brother. That's sins, okay, whatever. So let me, what kind of amp is that? So this is a Henriksen demo. Now let me see, there's some other messages here that people are asking. House of the Rising Sun. It's not really a request day. Now, someone's asking, is this battery operated? No. This is not a battery operated amp, everybody. So let me see if I can turn this over here a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better on TikTok. This is not battery operated. But you know what's really good? I got one of these Fishman amps right here. Let me show you real quick. And I'm not really like a pessimistic person, but this is a battery powered amp. Do not buy it. I just used this on a gig and it sounded like, unless you want to play rock, I'm a jazz guy. And and I have rock amps, that I could overdrive my amp, but this thing did not sound good. So, anybody want to buy this? Let me know. Message me directly because I don't want to use this amp. It's a battery powered amp. You know what you could do, guys? You guys do? What you have to do is this: get this amp and get a portable battery. I was just on a gig, man. This guy had like a portable battery. It cost him about $1,000, but this amp costs that much. So, if you want something good, it costs you money. But you can buy a cheaper one. You can just buy one just for your amp. And you can get a portable battery and use this amp because those little battery amps do not cut it, man, at all. This will cut it with a little battery amp, okay? And I was using my big twin reverb. He had a sound system, everything going through this thing. And it was incredible, man. So I suggest a battery-powered amp. This is not battery-powered, so that's all I want. That's the question I want to ask you. Oh, Big Ron, don't play the battery outfit. Jesus Christ loves you. Thank you. Jesus Christ loves me. Thank you. Ron, you're the man. Stay groovy. Thank you. Advice for someone who's put out original music and visuals. We can't talk about that today. I'm talking about this amp. It's a demo. So if you have any questions about this amp, please let me know. And just so everybody knows, you can get use code Ron Jackson at Henriksen Amps. This is how you spell Henriksen right here. HENRIKSEN amps.com, and you get 5% off your order of anything that you buy on that company, on that website. So let me play you how this sounds on a 7-string, okay? Let me move over here a little bit so you can see me. So this is my Henriksen amp, weighs 13 pounds, 120 watts. It sounds really good. I mean, it's a really great amp. I mean, what I had to do, I had to break down and buy one of these myself 3 years ago, because every time I would get a little amp, it would sound like crap, basically. It would always break. Listen to this. I'm not even all the way up. Let me turn up. I don't want to turn too loud because it starts to distort into my computer speaker. It's too loud. So, let me see. There's some other comments here. So this is another comment here. Now this is the Henriksen Bud 6 amp demo. I'm playing my 7-string just so you get that sound of how it sounds with the 7-string. So, if there's any other questions, please let me know about this amp because all we're talking about this amp right now. and this is my Henriksen Bud 6. It weighs 13 pounds, 120 watts. It has full 2 channels. This particular amp, they have smaller ones actually that are cheaper. But this is for me. This is a great amp because it's really versatile. You can put 2 inputs in here, a mic. This fits a mic. This part fits a mic, or it fits, a guitar cable. So look, I can put the guitar in here, or I can put the mic cable in here. Look, here's the mic cable. I can put the mic cable in here. It's gonna feed back if I put that in there. But look, I can put the mic cable in here too. So I can put the mic cable in here as well. So like I say, hello. So it sounds pretty good, If you're a singer, it's actually pretty good for a vocal amp too. So for singers, if you want a good amp too, that's pretty versatile and powerful, you can get this as well. Ooh, I don't have the mic in front of my. Anyway, you understand? Let me see. There's some other questions here. A company called Jackery makes a 300 watt amp battery for $300. Oh yeah, no, I'm looking into that Jackery. Everybody says the amp company. There's a battery company called Jackery, and I'm going to try to get one of those batteries. I'm really mad because there was Amazon Prime Day and they were really cheap, and I wanted to buy one, and I was on a gig or something, and I missed the deadline. So anyway, so someone's asking me what gauge strings do I have on my guitars. So everybody, just so you know, I use 14, the man string I call them. So I use a 14 on my guitars, for my jazz guitars. So let me plug this back in. So this is a 14 gauge string. Let me plug this back in. So yes, and these are actually Labella Blacks. Okay, yeah. So yeah, someone's asking me what kind of string I use. So let me see. Let me answer a few more questions here on TikTok. Oh, okay. Someone's saying my video's a little fuzzy. Sorry about that. Let me ask. How good is the amp with a keyboard? Oh yeah. Someone's asking about a keyboard. So I'll tell you a story, guys. When I was on tour in March for my new album, which I should have in front of me, but you guys can pick that album up too as well. Let me show you a copy. We had to play through a Hammond organ and a guitar through this little speaker, and it was fine. I couldn't believe it. It sounded fine. The speaker didn't blow out. You still hear it sounds good. So yeah, it sounds fine with the keyboard. That's what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't. I mean, it's not like a keyboard amp. It's a guitar amp, but it does work, everybody. So we were just on tour, and for my new album here. Okay, everybody. So if you want to pick it up, just go to my website, ronjacksonmusic.com, and get your copy. And the video is crystal clear. Oh yeah, maybe on my phone it's not as clear. That's all. Someone was saying, because I'm also going through TikTok. But someone said the video is crystal clear. So yeah, so we were on tour and we used this amp, and I put a Hammond organ. A Hammond organ and my guitar, because there's 2 full channels here, and it was fine, man. I couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. The Hammond organ player couldn't believe it. We weren't playing loud now. We were playing with the drum set, but the drummer was playing just a snare and a hi-hat. Yeah. Oh yeah, someone's saying beautiful guitar. Thank you. No, I never tried that before Casino. Transacoustics. Oh yeah, you know what? I have one of those. Just so you know, someone's asking me. Someone said check out Yamaha Transacoustics. So just so you know, guys, I write for Acoustic Guitar Magazine, and I did a review on a classical Transacoustic about 3 years ago. So this is one of my books. Okay, so you can pick it up at on my website at ronjacksonmusic.com. This is one of my books I did with Acoustic Guitar Magazine and Hal Leonard Music. It's about chord melody and everything else, okay? And there's some great writers in here. So pick up your book too. It's called Chords at Your Fingertips, okay? So you can get that book, and I did a review of a transacoustic guitar, nylon string. It was incredible. It can sound like a chorus, or it sounds like it's reverb coming right through the guitar. Actually, they're really nice. Unfortunately, I couldn't keep the guitar; they wouldn't let me. But they sent it to me in a box, and I reviewed it, and it was really a really great guitar, So yeah, so this is all about the Henriksen amp. So everybody, the Henriksen amp. This is called the Bud 6, but they make a bunch of different models. Where did I put my phone? So anyway, oh, here's my phone. So if you go to the Henriksen website, everybody, they make all kinds of amps. Okay, so they have the Bud 6. Also, they have like the Forte, which is like a bigger version, which gets up there in price range. If you want a good amp, all the boutique amps are expensive. Just so you know. So they make the Forte, which is like more of like a Fender Deluxe size amp. They also have they make heads as well. You can put a speaker with it. They have the Bud 10. So this is a 6-inch speaker. They have the Bud 10, which is about $300 more. So this lists at $1,300, but it's worth it, I'm telling you. And if you use my code, you get 5% off. Okay, everybody. I'll tell you, you get what you pay for. So if you get a lot of really boutique amps or really good amps, thousands of dollars. And so in the beginning, I was like, hey, man, I'm too cheap. But now, you want a good amp? I've made this money back in a couple of gigs. So so you get a good amp, use my code, save 5%. Ron Jackson is my code. Okay, and now so they have the Bud 10. Let me look at this one. It has 5 stars. So the Bud 10 is like a really great amp too. Now the Bud 10, I think, is exactly the same as mine. It has 2 full channels too, but it's 10 inches, so that means you can play louder. I might get one of these eventually, Bud 10, but right now I have enough amps, so I don't think I need it yet. I need the smaller one, and maybe I'll get a Bud 10. They also have all these heads and all these really cool things, man. So they have the Bud head only, and you can put a speaker through it, So they have a lot of cool things, and with my code, you could actually save 5% on anything on Henriksen.com. Okay, so I got my Henriksen hat here. You see my Henriksen hat and my Henriksen shirt, just like the amp. You see that? It's kind of cool, huh? So they were one of my tour sponsors too. These are really great guys. And just so you know, guys, if you're in Colorado, I'll be going to Arvada for the Rocky Mountain Archtop Festival from September 9th to 12th, and sponsored by Henriksen Amps. And everybody's going to be there. All the Archtop makers. I'm going to be having my Benedetto 7-string, which will hopefully be done by then. I'm going to bring that and play that there. But let me finish up and stop talking. And then, the amp sells itself, guys. So I'm going to play one more song before I finish. And thank you for watching. Remember, use my code. Let me see some more comments here. And I'm going to call back my friend, Arturo, who tried calling me during my broadcast from Spain. Arturo, wait. Don't go to sleep yet. Oh, yeah. They're still early there. Nice jazz box. Thank you. Can you play Misty, please? Well, some of you always ask me to play that. I'll play that for you to end. Yeah, I never tried that guitar. How good is that amp? This is a great amp, just so you guys know, okay? And because that's why I own it. Usually if I don't like something, guys, you know what happens? I sell it. So if I keep it, it means it's good. So this thing is great. I like to use my Fender Twin Reverb Tone Master or Reverb Deluxe Tone Master because they're bigger amps. But this sounds great in most situations too, actually. I just prefer a bigger amp. I have it right here. And Henriksen is one of the companies I endorse too, so I endorse that. I like to use my Celestion speakers, which I endorse too. So, I think it depends on the situations. So let me play you one more song. Someone's asking for Misty. Let me see if I can play this for you. Okay, thank you, everybody. Oh, Spain! Why do you play Spain for Arturo? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna call Arturo back before it gets late in Spain. So everybody, so pick up your Henriksen amp here. So you save 5% at henriksenamps.com. Use code Ron Jackson. This is a demo. It weighs 13 pounds, 120 watts. Has 2 full channels, full EQ. You could put it through a sound system, take it on tour, throw it in your bag, in your suitcase like I did. It comes with a carrying case right here to throw your amp inside. Looks big. The case looks bigger, but look at this. Let me unplug it real quick. You can fit it right inside here. Watch this, guys. I put it right in here. It's right here. Look. The amp fits right inside there. Look at that thing. It's a really great amp. And so this was my Henriksen demo, everybody. Henriksen amps. You can see the speaker right here. And, thank you for watching. Use code Ron Jackson. And if you have any questions, just, email me at ron@ronjacksonmusic.com. And we'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Follow me at Ron Jackson Music on all channels. Let me show this comment here. Hey, wow, well, that was great. Thank you for the haircut. Very old school reference. Telling my age. Yeah, everybody. So, that was a Henriksen Bud 6 demo. It sounds really good. Obviously, you can hear that. And, it's not only the player, it's the amp. Just kidding. But, so, send me questions. Please follow me everywhere. And use my code, save money. And, again, this amp sells itself. I don't have to sell it. You can hear it sounds great. And it sounds great with a band. And we'll talk soon, guys, everybody. And if you want to super chat me on YouTube or wherever you're watching, you can send me a super chat donation or whatever during this broadcast. And, I'm going to be starting memberships on YouTube right now, too, because they keep asking me to do memberships. So I'm going to do that. I already have a Patreon, everybody. If you want to join my Patreon and get cheap lessons, I have lessons that teach you about bass lines, like in this book and stuff. You pick up my book. Again, you guys know about me. You guys follow me, so you can, get my stuff anywhere you want. Just follow me everywhere. You can see that. And let me just answer a couple more questions right now, and I'm gonna say bye to everybody. Could you check out my TikTok account? Okay, I can't right now, but let me see if I can. 5%, yeah, 5% of a lot of money is good. So just so you know. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway. To elaborate, yeah, there's a future in jazz. Thank you. Can you? Someone keep asking. There's some funny questions here. Let me see some of these questions here real quick. I'm gonna hang up right now too in a second. Can you play Misty, please? Oh, there's a future judge. Great, nice box. Thank you. So everybody, just so you know, this is a Eastman AR810 CE7 string, and I was playing a D'Angelico Premier guitar. That I'm a D'Angelico artist too, so this is actually a decent guitar for $1,000. You can go to my Amazon store and get this guitar as well. Go to Amazon.com/shop/Ron Jackson Music, and you can get guitars there as well. Okay, and all kinds of cool things. Okay, so follow me, everybody. Use my code, and we'll talk soon. And thank you very much, and have a great night, everybody. I have other things to do, and I'm glad I put this video up on YouTube because, you know, I haven't been on my YouTube as much as I'd like to. So, you know, I hope you got to learn about the Henriksen amp and about all the details. I'm a Henriksen artist, and, you know, we'll talk soon, everybody, okay? And thanks for watching. Ron Jackson, over and out. Let me hang up on everybody now. Bye-bye. And keep in touch, okay, everybody? Bye-bye.